You don't have to love too far to find your purpose. Remember, you're a shining star. You light the world up. And even if the way looks dark, you hold your head up. There's no place better to be than chilling with destiny.
Welcome to the program Chilling with Destiny. Yes, it's another program, and we are lined up for an awesome testimony this evening. And we say, all honor, all glory, all blessings, and power to the Ancient of Days, to the Most High God. Yes. So we have a positive quote here from Nelson Mandela. He said, "Do not judge me by my success. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." So this evening, this is a program for real people with real testimonies. Yes, call somebody and tell them right now that Chilling with Destiny is on. And we have a very great woman here with us this evening. I am privileged to be here with this guest. And of course, it has been a long time I wanted her to be on the program. And we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I have the pleasure of interviewing Mrs. Monique Dunkley-Williams, a dedicated educator, mother, wife, and trailblazer. Sister Monique's journey began at Magatti High School and continued through Bethlehem Moravian College, where she earned her bachelor's degree in early childhood education. She taught in Jamaica for several years, then migrated to the United States. Her path has been driven by a very powerful purpose. Yes. To break generational curses and create a new legacy for her family. As a former entrepreneur, she made the bold decision to return to college and fuel a deep desire to be a role model. Bless the Lord. All right, so we have with us no other person than Mrs. Monique Dunkley-Williams. And I can hear all her cheerleaders, them saying, yeah. All right, thank you so much, Sister Vickie. So at this time, we want to say special welcome to your family, Sister Monique, the Dunkley family, and also the Williams family, and your host of friends that is watching at this time, and also your co-workers. So we say welcome to Chilling with Destiny.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure being here.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to give our viewers just a little bit on why I asked you to come on the program. I was actually on roll call service and you were there and we were sharing testimonies that morning. And when I listened to your testimony, I said, wow, I must give the world a chance to meet this great woman. All right. So I have listened to your testimony. And of course, I know that lives will be changed after everyone listened to you this evening or whatever time they listen, because we have different times when people listen all over the world. All right. So she's a Jamaican and she also lived in Rocky Hill for a while, and then she went to Burn Savannah, right here on the beautiful island of Jamaica. All right. So we're gonna ask you, Sister Monique, at this time, just to tell us, the first question I want to ask you, and this is sort of funny because I've never done this before. You're now living in the United States, and I would want to ask you, to tell us something about Jamaica that you are so proud of.
Well, there are several things that I am proud of. Being a Jamaican here and living here in the US is a big deal. Everyone wants to be a Jamaican. Even my students sometimes they come up to me and say, "I'm Jamaican," and I'm like, "You do? You are? You have a Jamaican relative?" They're like, "No, but I'm Jamaican." So being a Jamaican is something that I'm really proud of. Our accent is the main one. Our global influence, like everybody just wants to be Jamaican. Our food, our music is
Yes.
just our athletic achievement. Having the fastest man in the world, yes.
Woo!
So being a Jamaican is a big deal here in the US.
Okay, and I remember when I traveled, everybody was asking me about Bob Marley.
Yes, yes. They love the Jamaican accent. The patois,
Yes.
yeah,
So
it
we
is
have
something.
to big up
Yeah.
Miss Louise Bennett.
Bennett, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Normally, all right. All right. So we're so proud of our beautiful island here. And we must say, to God be the glory that we are blessed on this island
Yes,
and highly favored.
definitely.
What drives you, Sister Monique? What drives you? What keeps you going? What fuel you?
Well, my daughter, my husband, and my mom, they are my main, you know, persons that when I think of giving up, I think about them. Mainly my daughter. She I have always said to myself that having a child, I will never allow her or him to go through what I've been through. So she's my main motivator than my mom and my husband.
Okay, all right. And I must say that you're a beautiful mom. I have seen
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
I have seen some of your pictures that you post with your daughter. And I must say that, you're very proud of her.
Yes, I
Uh, yes. All right. So another question I would want to ask you, Sister Monique. Do you have a favorite Bible verse or a favorite song?
Yes, I do. I have a favorite Bible verse, and that's Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I live by that verse because I have seen it manifest in my life.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, what do you do for fun? Because most persons will tell you that as teachers and so on, teachers don't really have no time. So tell us, what do you
Yes.
do for fun?
Well, I'm mainly like a social media person. I browse the net a lot. I'm on TikTok looking. I go on Instagram, and sometimes I will talk to my mom, like and my friends on the phone for a long while. Other times I like to dress up and go out to have dinner or something like that. But yeah,
Okay. All right. All right. If I should ask you, if you were given the chance to travel the world, where would be your first stop?
well, I have been to several countries, but where I really want to go is Africa. I really
Wow.
want to visit Africa. Yes,
Yes. Africa.
yes. Any country in Africa. Yes.
Okay. Could I ask you why?
I don't know. I'm just fascinated with Africa, the wildlife, the their culture, mainly
Okay.
the wildlife though. I just want to see, like, I just want to see that for myself.
Okay. You have faced many challenges in life as a young person, because persons can see that you're a young mother and wife. Um, I know some of the challenges that you have been through, but at this time, I'm just going to give you the platform to just share your testimony. And I think we want to start at about 2009.
Yes.
2009. It was a normal day for you, Sister Monique. Tell
Yes.
us what happened. Normal day.
Yes. So it was 2009. I was in high school in eighth grade, and we were out by the road. So, as you know, well, persons who are from our area will know that the first morning your parents get you dressed, put you on Macadam's bus. But after going and being at school for a while, you stop taking Macadam and start taking the other little mini buses. So I was out by the road, my friend Sharika and I was like, it's getting late. It was going up to like maybe we were on the evening shift, so school over at 5. So it was getting a little late. So all the buses left, and there was this one bus that came, and I was like, I turned to her and I said, "You're not coming. I'm not letting this bus leave." And she said, "No, I'm not ready." And I got into the bus, and we were there driving. We passed through Newton, and we were going on that straight there, and the bus just started swinging from side to side, and then I was wondering if I was in a dream. My head started to go, like, so the bus was swinging from side to side, then the bus started to spin, and then the bus kicked and made a sudden stop. So when the bus stopped, I was on top. I was on the top of a pile of students, and I jumped down. And when I came out, was one my nose was bleeding. Persons were got cut up, and the driver. When I looked, the driver's head was down, and his marrow was on the ground. The driver
Wow.
died on the spot. None
Wow.
of the students died, but we got injured. My tissues in my nose was damaged. Persons got cut with the glass and stuff like that. And I was like, but I just spoke to this man. I just spoke to the driver and went into the bus, and no, he's dead lying there. So yes, that's what happened in 2009 thereabout.
Which school was that?
It was a
Which school?
Magati High School.
Oh, Magati High School. So it had just Magati High School students.
Yes, just Magati High School students. Yes,
Oh Lord. Um, for that experience, have it changed your life?
yes, it has, because during that time, my mom was taking me to the doctor. I can remember, to get checked up because my nose was swollen. I didn't know your nose could cover your face, like my nose covered my face. It was so swollen. And I was going to do a checkup. And then we were at the stoplight, waiting to go through the stoplight, and another vehicle but crashed into the vehicle I was in at the
So
stoplight.
are you saying that you had two
I had
accidents
another accident
in
right
one
at the
day?
stoplight. I'm going to the doctor because of the injury I got on my
Yes.
nose, and I met in another accident at the stoplight, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is really going on in my life?" So at that time, I started thinking about God and how He saved me in that car accident,
Yes.
because I can remember like seeing other accidents happen with other schools and children die and stuff, and I thought about it, and I decided I was going to give my life to the Lord. And that's how I changed my life around. I started to, act like a Christian and pray and stuff. And the church I was going to at the time, they did the altar call, and I went up and I decided that I was going to give my life to the Lord. So that's what helped me to, go to God, get baptized. And from that time, I just knew that God saved me for a reason.
Yes, for a
Yes,
purpose.
yes,
And we say the calling of God produces patience. All right, thank God, thank God. Um, I know you have another testimony in which you were pregnant with your daughter. You want to share that one with us?
yes. So
Okay, go
when
ahead.
so when I got pregnant with my daughter, I did not know that pregnancy could do you like that. I thought something was wrong with me. I was slim. I couldn't. Well, I was vomiting, which is normal. I couldn't eat chicken. I had to do like fish and vegetables. But there was a pain in my neck. I could not turn my neck. or my back. Mom had to put me on about 6 pillows. And when I wanted to move, I had to ease off like and move my whole body. And I can remember praying. And when I went to the doctor, sometimes I was saying to the doctor, this has never happened to me before. They would ask me if I had any underlying illness. I said, I know I have sickle cell trait. I don't have full blown sickle cell, but I have the trait. And they said to me that being pregnant, it causes everything in your body to start acting up. And trust me, my family members that came and saw me, they gave over on me. They were like, no, something wrong. Something is wrong. And as I can remember, mom coming to prayer to fasting and
Yes.
asked for prayer for me. One of the times she bought me a prayer cloth. And
Yes.
after 3 months, the first trimester, I got better. I was doing good. I was working. I Even my assistant who worked with me would be like, Miss Dunkley, be careful. Like I could do just about anything. So it was really the first trimester, but it had me sick, so sick that, as I said, everybody gave over on me. All my family members, some persons were saying something on me, and all sorts of things because I just looked. My eyes were in a hole, and I couldn't move. I was like a robot. If I wanted to move, I couldn't move my neck, couldn't move my shoulder. So right there and then, I realized how God came through for me again right there. And as I was telling you, when I went to have the baby now, the baby
Yes.
she was good and all of that, but I started pushing too early, so I got a very severe tear. And after having the baby, I saw them pumping something out of the baby. I'm not sure what it was, but someone told me that maybe the baby had pooed inside me or something like that. But the main issue was I was bleeding so heavy.
Oh God.
I was like, you're not supposed to bleed so much. And I started to worry, and I started praying. I was like, right there on the bed, I was praying and saying, God, please let me go home with my baby. And I can remember they had to use the thing they call gauze and make it into a big ball and use it as the form of a tampon to
Yeah.
stop bleeding.
The bleeding.
Yes. And when I went home, went to clinic and stuff, they said I was doing good and all of that. And I was like, God came through for me one more time again, because I can remember a lot of persons, they died in child's birth or they died a little after having their baby and stuff like that. So that was definitely another testimony for me. Then again,
Yes. And how old is your daughter now?
she's 5.
Okay, I saw her earlier, but our persons who don't get a chance to see her, she's just a bundle of joy.
Yes, she is.
5 years old. She's so brilliant and beautiful.
Yes,
All right. There are some challenges that you face at work um, during your time when you were working.
yes,
Because even listening to you now, persons have challenge at home, at school, everywhere. So I want you to share that testimony with persons just to let them know that they're not unique in what
yes.
they're going through. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to start from before going to college. So before going to college, I was there a little young girl. I left college, and one day my mom came to me and she told me that a lady that goes to our church is from overseas. She wanted someone to stay with her. So I went to the lady and she was like, she just fell in love with me. And she said I could move in and live with her, keep her company. So I was living with her. She said I didn't have to pay her any rent at the time until I started working, because I wasn't working at the time. But I was going to evening class. And her son came from overseas and he said to me, there's a shop in front of the yard. He was like, why you don't rent the shop and run it? Every lady run that shop, Bill House. That's what he said
Wow.
to me. He said, I'm going to talk to uncle for you. And he talked to uncle and I got the shop. And I was running the shop there. And I can remember one of my church brothers saw me one day at the shop and he called to me. But then he saw me another time and he came to me and he said to me, bar no fit you. And I said to him, I said, I have to do it. right now, because there's no other way out right now. It's my business. Not like I'm working for somebody. I'm dressing appropriate and all of that. And he said, yeah, but this gonna suit you. I'm gonna see you there. And I said to him, okay. And I was there. I built a house, as the man said. I built my house from a bar. And then I can remember also, someone came to the shop and said to me, what you want to do? And I said, I want to go to college. And he said, which college you want to go? I said, Bethlehem. I said, I've always wanted to be a teacher. And he said, have you applied it? And I said, yes, I have applied, but I haven't heard back anything from them. So he said, find out from them, and if you get through, let me know. And that's how I started thinking about going to college. I didn't see the first dollar. Don't have any mother to help because she don't have it. No
Yes.
father, no family member to say help me or anything.
Yeah.
However, I I followed up with Bethlehem, and I got through on stuff. And told back the person that I got accepted and stuff. And the person said, "Okay, I'm going to help you to start." The person gave me the money just to start my first semester. Remember, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I don't know how I'm going to pay. If I decide to board, I don't know how anything at all is coming. And I said, I'm going to go to college, rent out, get a bartender, and have the bartender working for me. When I went on orientation, the bartender kept calling me persons crediting and not paying and stuff like that and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? I don't think this is gonna work out with school. So I closed down the bar. And trust me, it is by faith. Up to this day, I don't know how I went through college and finished. And I tried for student loan. This is another testimony. I tried for student loan several times. Each time I
Yeah.
put in my TRN, they told me my TRN is already in the system. So I couldn't get student loan. But
Wow.
thinking about it now, I am glad because I don't have that to repay. I
Okay.
So I closed down the bar, was going to college. I got a little place to rent, got a little help here and there, call and ask persons for help. I said no matter how small it is and stuff like that. And that's how I really made it to through college. Also, finished college now, and I was there. In that time, persons weren't migrating like how they're migrating now, so that jobs are available. And I
Yes.
was
Yes.
there, and I took a job. I can remember taking a job, my first job, and the money I was getting is just like I was working in a supermarket, packing bags or something. But nobody knew because I did not tell anybody.
Yes. Little is about your dad,
I
isn't
did
it?
not tell anybody. I dressed up in my nice teacher stocking, and I went
Yes.
to school daily, and I did my best.
Yes.
And I threw partners. That little money that I got, the whole of it I used it to throw partners. You know what I used to use survive the evening class money? I used to use my evening class money for my could spend the money. I throw the whole of the little money I was getting in partner, and each time I got my draw, then I would do something on the house. Because remember, the house was big, but it wasn't finished because I went to college. So when I finished college and I got that little job, and the little I got from it, I threw the partner and I got it. I would do a little tiling. I would do rough cast, rent out outside and stuff like that. That's what I did there. Also, I I did 2 years at that school because I love that school dear to my heart. I would go back there anytime now. I did 2 years at the school, but however I got pregnant and I was like, no, I'm gonna have a baby now, so I can't stay here anymore. So I, told them and they said yes. I applied at a school, I got 8 months. I said, it's better to take the 8 months because at that time I would be getting ministry paid. So I did the 8 months. When I got the 8 months at the school, there was a teacher at the school that we went to college together. And that teacher, remember I told you how I was sick? I went there pregnant.
Yes. Yes.
They
Yes.
didn't know I was pregnant. I knew, but I didn't say anything to anybody. So I went there with my flat belly, and then my belly started growing, and eventually I started getting sick and stuff like that. So they found out I was pregnant, and the teacher found out that I was pregnant. and both of us had 15 students in each class. And she would call me every day when you're coming back to work. That time I was telling you, I can't turn my head, can't turn.
Yeah.
And she was down on the principal, down on the principal. So I wrote my resignation letter. I said to my now husband, back then baby father, I said to him, I don't think I can manage. They're calling me, and I wrote the resignation letter. When I went to the principal to give him the resignation letter, he was saying to me, Miss Dunkley, I'm not saying that your spouse is not able to help you or anything, but if you were my daughter, I would not tell you to resign. And I had the letter. I said, sir, I am resigning. Miss So and so keeps calling me, and I just can't. I'm gonna focus on my baby. And he was like, no, Miss Dunkley, I'm not taking the resignation letter. Tell you what, go in the classroom, and if it's anything, sit on a chair and teach. Circle and sit on a chair and teach. And that is what I did. I went and I sat on a chair, put the children in semicircle, and I teach. And I told you that after the 3 months, I was like, I could run, I could jump, I could do anything. I came
Do
back
a marathon.
and I looked at that again and I said, look at God. Look how
My
God
Lord.
He has me in such. God has so much great plans for me that He is always making a way for me. And I worked that 8 months, and guess what? COVID came in. I was supposed to do 8 months. COVID came in. I went to have my daughter about 2 days after school closed down. And then I had her tonight, 7 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, I went home. And I had her like the Tuesday, something like that. And by the Thursday, I was online teaching from home with the young baby. And the principal called me one day and said to me, Miss Dunkley, ministry said you're to stay in the position. So it's no longer 8 months now. I'm going to do the entire full year because the children would have already been used to me. And since we're online, so he
Yeah.
said, continue. And I looked at that and I said, even though I was getting a fight, God worked it out for me,
Yes, yes.
allowed me to get even a longer time. He didn't allow my principal to take my resignation letter. And I ended up thanking him because, trust me, having that job for the 1 year, it did so much for me. Knowing that I was a young mother too, having a young, I couldn't do all the things that I wanted to do. So I did that. Then I left and I went, got another job, 1 year, COVID teacher. And at times I was saying to myself, why is it I can't get a permanent, clear vacancy job? Why is it I'm always getting, 8 months or 1 year? And it would bother me, it would play on me, and I would look and say, look at those persons, they left college after me and they have a clear vacancy job. So when I was in that 1 year, COVID teacher position, I got a call from a teacher. Someone recommended me as an early childhood teacher, and the person called me. I was still in the 1 year vacancy. She said to me, anytime school closes, I want you at the school. Your job is sure. Just come and sign up the papers. At that time, I was hoping and praying that I got to stay at that particular school that I was at for the 1 year, because I was saying I didn't want any more schools on my resume. I
Yeah.
wanted some stability. However, it didn't work out, and I went to that school, the other school. This was a clear vacancy now, something I've always wanted.
All right.
It was a clear vacancy.
Yes.
But little did I know, I heard about another job opportunity. And sounded, it was outside of the classroom, big top job that, a lot of persons in Jamaica want that kind of job. So I applied. My friend told me about it and stuff, and I applied and got called for the interview and did the interview and stuff, and I got through. So now I was between a rock and a hard place, because I was like, I like this job up here. I was the culture agent. I was the captain for the sports team, and I just loved doing it. Choral service, I'm putting it on Jamaica Day, all of that. So I really loved. I took my children to JCBC and I was enjoying it. But this opportunity came now. It was a better paying job. I wasn't gonna be in the classroom so much anymore. I was gonna, be more supervisory. So
Yes.
I spoke to God and I asked Him. I prayed and I said, if this job is not for me, show me a sign. And my principal was saying to me, Monique, you really are going to leave me? And then she said to me, you know, you're a young person. Go, spread your wings. I wish you all
Yeah.
the best. Even in her recommendation, she said it, that she would miss me as a member of staff. But she said, you know, it's a better opportunity, more, you would be getting more experience and all of that. So I went to that job, and I did 6 months in the job. And somebody at that job decided that no, this job was too good for me. I shouldn't be there. And I got a fight. I think the biggest fight of my life. And
Mm.
when I saw the fight that I was getting, my friend, she prayed with me and she told me, Monique, she said, Monique, don't give up. And I said to her, I said, no, they don't want me here. So I'm going to resign. Not knowing where I would get any money from to do my bills. I have my vehicle. I remember I have my daughter. I have other things dealing with and all of that. But in the same breath, I was in the process of doing my little thing to come overseas because I was started the process from I was at the school
Yes.
before I left to that job. So because I was in that job and I got so comfortable and the pay was good and just the freedom of not having to be in the classroom all day and all of that. I reached out to my recruiter who was recruiting me to come here and said, I don't think I'm gonna come again. And she called me same time and she said, Monique, are you sure? And I said, yes. I have a little thing going on and I don't think I want to come. And she said, think about it. Think about it. Because you have enough time. And there I started thinking to myself, there are a whole lot of other teachers applying to come here and they're not getting through. And somebody is asking me if I'm
Yes.
sure I want to give up the opportunity of coming. Anyways, I was in the job still and I one particular incident happened that proved to me that I'm really not welcome here. Somebody's really behind the scene fighting me out of this job. And I thought about it and I said, I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to stay because if somebody doesn't want it, they will go to the ends of the earth to get you out if they don't want you there. So that's the time I decided I'm going to resign. It was a particular holiday, so I waited 12 o'clock the night because I said I wanted to work enough days so I could get paid. And I worked enough days and I sent in my resignation. And as I said, leaving this job, I left by faith, not knowing where I would get the money from to pay my car loan, not knowing nothing. I just told my husband that I'm not staying and I sent in my resignation letter. And then I started scrolling to my phone the same minute I sent in the resignation letter. I started messaging persons. I said when they wake up in the morning, they would see it. Do you know any school want a teacher? Do you know any school want a teacher? And one particular person messaged in the morning and told me that two schools needed a teacher. So I sent in the application, and I'm telling you, I sent off the application, and I was just home. I was just at my bedside. There was this particular lady at the workplace that saw everything that was happening, and she said to me, Monique, do you believe in prayer? And I said, yes. And she said to me, say, live a city. I will never forget. She said, live a city. And I was at home. Mom came calling me. I don't want to come out the house. I'm not eating. I'm just drinking water. And on my knees, I have my Bible and I'm praying. And I applied to the school and the school called me the Friday. I can't forget. The school called me the Friday. Or it was a Thursday, sometime there about, and said I should come for an interview. And I went for the interview, did the interview, and they called me the Sunday, said I should show up for work the Monday. The school was far from home. It was a long drive, and all I could think about is how I gave up my job, which was close to my daughter's school. I know I have to go so far. So I didn't go to the job the Monday or the Tuesday. I went to another friend's school, telling him that I was gonna, volunteer and help out some children who couldn't read. And then the Wednesday, the chairman at that school called me, and he said, "You haven't showed up for work." And while driving home, I was crying. And I said, God, what did I look how I was questioning God. I was saying, why you let
Yes. Yes.
me work? You know this wasn't going to work out. Why you let me leave my work? And I showed up the Wednesday morning for the job, and I explained to the principal. I said I live far and I have a daughter at school, and so she said, "No problem, Miss Dunkley. As your children go through the gate, and you can go and get your daughter and stuff." And one morning, I can remember in particular, I was driving to work and I was crying, still crying, because the drive, it was a long drive, and I was had to go on a lonely road. It was me alone and God and bush. And I almost ran off the road crying. And that I got paid. I even went to somebody at the time, said to them, "Do you have any money could lend me until," because ministry had some money for me, some richer money. And I said, "Could you lend me some money?" And the person said no. And I know the person had it, but the person may be thinking, "I'm not working, so where am I going to get it to give them?"
Exactly. So,
I
yes,
got
that would
paid
be
from that particular
with
job
that.
that
Yes.
I got paid from the particular job that I left, and
Yes.
they sent me extra money.
Wow.
I had to. They called me, "Please, Rebecca, you need to send back the amount." And when they told me the amount to send back, I had more than enough money, because I didn't know that I was gonna be getting paid for my leave and all of those things that I accumulated. So I got paid, and ministry also paid me the money that they owed me, because I was now back in their over their side, because I left and went to another side of the education system. So I was back over their side. So I even got my retro money that they owed me. And I looked at it and I said, "Look at God.
What a
I'm
mighty
there
God we
worrying.
serve.
I was there worrying and crying." Some persons on this live can attest to how slim I was. So slim. I lost so much weight. And I was saying, "Look, I'm there worrying, and God had it all planned out for me." And my principal said, "Miss Dunkley, I'm going to work on your thing so you get paid the next month." So I did not miss a paycheck. Even though I resigned without knowing where I would get a job from or anything, I did not
Yes.
miss a paycheck, because that job that I left paid me, plus my principal ensured I got paid the next month. So at times I sit and I think, and I share my testimony all the time with friends and family, and I tell them, I say, "Listen, you see, faith can move
Yes. Yes.
mountains." And I live by, not by sight, but I live by faith.
Yes.
And when I was going through everything, I can remember one particular person said to me, "Pray for strength, Monique, because when you have strength, you can overcome anything." And that is what I do. Once I have strength, and I
Yes.
think God grant me my wish. I'm a strong person. What I went through, a lot
Yes.
of persons. One of the time, I'm telling you, I thought I was going to go crazy. I said to myself, "Oh, so when persons get mad, this is what God." I think my brain was going to leak. The,
My Lord.
Sometimes I can't breathe. I have to be taking deep breath. To how I was so stressed out with everything that I went through. But after working at that school, I only worked at that school for maybe 4 or so months. Everything came through for me to come here in the US. And I'm thinking, if God did not allow what happened for me not to, for me to get that fight to leave there, I would still be in Jamaica, not getting this experience, not, being able to do the things that I can do being here. So I said, my friend always say, you have to have a test to have a testimony.
Testimony. Yes.
Yes, you can't have the message without the mess. So
Yes.
trust me, it
So
is,
for you, it's just a leap of faith.
yes, leap of
Yes.
why
Yes.
I'm here right now in the US. Because as I said, I turned down the opportunity. The lady could have said, "Okay," and move on to the next candidate, because persons are lining up, waiting to come here.
And she insisted on
Called
you.
me. She called me. She's from India. She said, "Monique, are you sure you want to give us the opportunity?" I said, "No, I don't think I want to come," because I was like, "Oh, I'm in Jamaica and I'm getting this good pay, and
Yes.
I'm gonna leave my comfort zone." Remember, when we leave Jamaica, we are actually starting over. So
Yeah.
I rather to stay in my comfort zone than to,
Start
but
over.
coming here, I don't regret it, because the opportunity is good, the experience is awesome, and I got to do things that I always wanted to do.
Yes. So you're on the teachers program. I don't know what name
Yes.
it goes under. What name what name they call it, the program that you're on?
Oh, it's a cultural exchange program.
Okay.
Yes,
All
cultural
right.
exchange. So we do cultural activities each year for our colleagues to learn about the Jamaican culture. We also do Zoom meetings and stuff where children back home in Jamaica they get to talk to students here in the US and stuff like that. So we cook food, we dance for them and stuff like that. We put at our school we put on two events one time, and trust me, it was well supported. Everyone loved it, and we had
Yes.
a summer camp too called Jamaican Adventures. That was awesome too. The children loved it.
All right.
Loved it.
Have you ever done the Dinky Mini?
Here,
Yes.
no, we haven't done the Dinky Mini, but we have done other dances.
Okay. All right. All right.
We have,
I I'm just pulling your leg.
yeah. Well, we did, my students and I, we did Charmy Aki and we did Miss Lou the other day. We did the Miss Lou, and everybody was like, how you get those children to learn that part one? And we had a little bit of time. It was a little bit of time to practice them, but trust me, when you hear them, good morning, teacher, it was awesome. They loved it. Yes.
Well, I wish you all the best. We have my producer have a surprise on the line for you. We call this part the love zone. The love zone, when we just have somebody just come in and give you a shout out and a word of encouragement. So you went from one accident to another accident, two accidents in one day, and through a difficult pregnancy and difficulty at different schools, different challenges, and so on. So, of course, we have your friend, your friend here with us. So, I'm just going to ask her at this time. Let me find out if Sister Monique could guess who is your good friend that would want to encourage you. Can you guess?
Well, yeah, my friend from college.
Most of your friends are very busy, you know.
Yes, so
But
I think
this one, she made a sacrifice just for a couple of minutes to come.
yes.
So, all right, I'm gonna ask my producer now, Sister Vickie, to allow her at this time to say whatever she came to say to encourage you. You can open your mic, open your camera, and we're giving you the opportunity right now to talk to your friend. Wow! Welcome
Good evening, good night.
and
I
good morning.
I am extremely excited and pleased to be here tonight in the capacity of, one of Monique's closest and dearest friends. I that's how I see her. Yes, we met in college and it was a bond that was never broken. And if I don't hear from her for 2 months, I know that we still have that bond. It doesn't matter. She knows why we don't talk for 2 months. However, tonight I want to encourage Monique in this vein. The word of God says, all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. I have never met another person who has the cleanest and purest mind towards persons, towards individuals. It doesn't matter if you cuss her, it don't matter if you hate her, it don't matter what you do to her. This girl, if you go to her tomorrow morning after you just don't stab her in your back, she attack you. And if she see the way to help you, she's going to help you. So this is the second person that I know that is like this. And Monique, I
Wow.
want to tell you that the Bible says,
Yes.
he that has a clean hand and a pure heart, they shall inherit the kingdom of God. I want you to know to keep that with you. And all the struggles that you have been through, all the trials that you have been through, God has been preparing you for this moment to speak to someone so someone can hear you and can hear this testimony to know that guess what? He is refining you as pure gold so that one of these days you shall be, as the Bible said, after you have suffered a while, you will be settled, you will be established, and I don't know what I'm beyond words. I can talk, I can tell you, I can talk to you about how beautiful this spirit that this young lady has. And I believe that because of that, God will always open a door. When doors seem to be closed for her, God is going to continue open these doors for her. And she'll just not know because guess what? The eyes have not seen and the ears heard all of the beauty and the wonder that God has in store for you. So I just want to let you know that you're always in my prayers. We've cried together, we've talked together, we've laughed together, and I know that the best is yet to come. May God continue to bless you. May God continue to keep you. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was the voice of Sister Octavia Medford Walters, and she must come back on the program to share her testimony too. She have a lot. I heard about a lot of CDs piling up with testimonies. So thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much. So with that said, we are going to bring the curtain down. But before we do that, I'm going to give you, Sister Monique, an opportunity, 1 minute, to just encourage somebody out there. And if there is anyone that you want to give a shout out to or recognize them, you can go ahead and do so.
Okay, so my all my friends that are watching, and my mom, my husband, my daughter is in there watching as well.
You
I
could
want to
give
give a
us
shout
their
out to
names, Sister Monique. Give us their names.
my friends that are watching.
Your mommy and your husband.
Okay, mom Paulette, my sister Trisha, I think she's on to Tariq. I know I see Renee is on. I think Kadeen is on. Janelle and a few other persons I know are on. So guys, I want to say hi. Your girl made it. Yeah. So yes, I just want to shout out to all my family members in Jamaica. I'm not sure if persons from Rocky are on, but they should be on.
Yes,
Fiona,
Lucky is one of our biggest fan.
yeah, my aunt Carlene,
Yes,
and cousins Tanisha, I think Tanisha, Chanel, and them. They're on. Because even though I go through a lot, I have a lot of cheerleaders
yes,
cheering me on and giving me support when I need it, and I just can't forget. I always say I can't forget where I'm coming from
yes, yes.
because I have really been through it, but God kept me. So yes, I just want to shout out to them, and you know, in the midst of trials, Nicity, I will remember my friend's word. She said, live a Nicity. And that's what I can say. You live a Nicity. When the trials come and the temptations come, live there. And don't ask God to just help the situation. Pray for strength. Because when you're strong, trust me, you can overcome any and everything. So
Amen.
that's my little word to you. Just be strong. Be strong in the Lord. Live by faith like Monique. Live by faith like me. Right? A lot of persons wouldn't do what I did. The other day I was sharing it with my friend and she said she wouldn't leave that work. She would let them see that they can't get her out. But guess what? I didn't want to fight that battle. I didn't know that God had bigger things in store, but there were bigger things in store for me. And because I have faith and because I live by faith, I just knew it would work out. Yes, I cried. Yes, I lost a lot of weight. Yes, I didn't want to eat. I drank water. I was like on fasting for more than 40 days and 40 days because it's like couple months I wasn't eating and drinking. Mommy would
Yeah,
come down and call, and I would just didn't want to talk. You can remember too. I came to church several Sundays, and I
yeah.
kneeled at the altar and I cried.
Every time you come.
Sundays and about Sundays. Oh, and I want to shout out to Sister Keo too, who picked up what I was going through and listened. She prayed that prayer that she prayed for me.
My God.
Really. And I want to thank the Bible Truth Church of God family for always having me in your prayers. Pregnancy, this trauma with job, and everything. You're
Yes.
always praying for me, and I love my church family. And I just want to thank God for my husband as well. He's a strong man. When I said it to somebody, I said, "Listen, nobody can tell me my husband don't love me." Because when I was young, I look like my friend said I look like Jacob. You can tell me from me. I said he loved me same. Listen, he loved on me same way.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
want to just give God thanks for the people that I have around me. Octavia, that girl, Sidani, those persons, Jessica, those persons, they are dear to me. We struggled through college. We cook one tin mackerel and we ate it together. And
Yeah.
I know they tell me all the while they're proud of me, and I'm proud of myself too for where I am now. Because I could have given up. I could have given up. A lot of challenges came that I could have just given up and said, this is it. I'm not pushing further.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Because
We're
if
we're proud of
even
you.
yeah, so I just wanna, as I said, give God thanks. Even with
Yes.
the building the first house I was telling you about, I got fight with that and I walk, leave it.
Yes.
I
God is
leave it
able. He's
to God.
able. He
God is
has proven
able.
himself
Yeah,
times and times again.
times again. Yes,
Yes, where you are concerned. And if he take you to it, he will take you through it.
do
And
it.
there is no if. He have taken you to it. And I am persuaded that he is able. He's faithful. He cannot fail. He's God, sovereign in all his ways. And at this time, I just want to say, on behalf of the Bible True Church of God in Rocky Hill, you have always been blessing us. And this is one of the things I want persons to know, that when God has blessed you, you have to always remember
Yes,
your foundation. Remember those who helped you and those who have
yes,
prayed for you. As you mentioned, Evangelist Kayola Samuel, she is one of our intercessors here, and you can always come to us for prayer at any time, night or day.
yes,
The keepers of the altar is there praying for you, and we want to thank God. You're looking so beautiful. I remember at one point when I was pregnant with one of my, I think it was one of my daughter. I was always vomiting and always sick. And
yes,
in Jamaica, you have a lot of Jamaicans saying.
yes, yes,
And I remember mommy said to me that, look, you look like John Crabbe, Bobby, for you.
yes. That's listen. Everybody came and
It
saw
was
me.
just it was just difficult, and just you're just not looking nice.
Yeah, they gave
So
up on me. They said, "She no look good. She no look good."
I
Person saw me. I
understand.
said, "Then here say, hold me mash up." And yeah, but as I
I
said,
understand. Well, I understand very well what you meant when you say, man, everybody is just saying. But look at your beautiful daughter
yes,
now.
yes,
Beauty for ashes, strength
oh,
for fear,
yes,
gladness for mourning,
yeah.
strength for despair. And with that said, we want to thank you again. Because we know say you're blessed, you know. Know say you're blessed.
Me say me
On
know, say
behalf
me
of
bless.
the
The song say
church.
me know, say me bless. Me know, say me bless.
On
But
behalf of the church, we wish you all the best in your endeavors in life overseas, and that God will bless your marriage and bless your daughter. I mean, Sister Monique, you're going places, and I know that when you see just one set of footprints in the sand, that's a time when He's carrying you, because He said that in your weakness, His strength is being made perfect. You're a beautiful woman of God, as your friend had said. You have a beautiful heart, very forgiving, very loving, and very caring. And out of your ministry, as I said earlier in the program, that the calling of God produces patience.
Yes.
And out of the blessing that God has given you, you have blessed us, especially the Sunday school. I don't know if it's because you're a teacher,
Yeah.
but you have a heart for the Sunday school.
Yes.
Thank you. On
You're welcome.
behalf of Pastor Box and the rest of brethren.
Yes.
So I'm going to pronounce a blessing upon you, and our producer, she's going to bring the curtain down
Okay.
for this evening.
All right. So
Um,
even though I'm not a singer, but could I like sing a song, my favorite song?
I
Before
was actually trying to get your friend to sing, and she said, "No, no, I'm not a
I
singer."
can't sing either, but I love this song. And you know
Okay,
the other one. You can help me sing the
okay,
other
go
one.
ahead.
He understands every little bit of heartache and pain. And every time I called on him, and every time I cried, he knows the reason why. Why should he love me so? He understands every little bit of heartache and pain. Every time I called on him and every time I cried, he knows the reason why. Why should he love me so? I love that song. That song and another one by Sanchez, I Must Tell Jesus, those two songs kept me when I was going through my troubles. So, and you know the other one. All my life you have been faithful. All
Yes,
my life you have been so so good to me.
yes.
Yes, those songs.
Thank you so much, Sister Monique. Because Sister Monique, if I continue with you, I'll be crying out this program for the
Yes.
rest of the end. So, the Lord bless you, and the Lord keep you, and the Lord made His face to shine upon you, and be gracious unto you. And the Lord lift up the light of His countenance upon you, and give you His peace. And we say, Shalom. God bless you. Over to you, Sister Vickie. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.
You don't have to look too far to find your purpose. Remember, you're a shining star. You light the world up. And even if the way looks dark, you hold your head up. There's no place better to be than